Hello there, my friend. Today is a very special episode because it's my birthday. We're going to party like it actually is Inspired Living's birthday. We are 13 today, and it's pretty hard to believe, I have to say. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years, and I've had 2 other businesses that I stopped at the 5-year mark. So the fact that I am on to lucky 13 is definitely something to celebrate. And I just want to take a second and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Whether you are new to Inspired Living or you have been watching and following for years, I truly cannot thank you enough for allowing me to show up, to serve you, to help you share your message, make a bigger difference, make money, all the good things. So, oh yes, there's a lot of lessons. In fact, today I'm going to share with you probably my top 3. My team asked me to come up with 13. And I'm like, 13 lessons? Let me tell you, I think I could write a book, which I think I kind of want to write a book. What do you think? Should I write a book? There's a lot of stories, my friends. Oh man, 25 years as an entrepreneur, over 30 years on camera, the highs and lows, there are many. So if you think I should write a book, shoot me a message. I need some support here because I know it's quite the undertaking. But as I'm sitting here in year 13, I am at that place where I am thinking, what's next? Not that I'm abandoning anything because I love what we do as a company. However, just like all of us, we get to continue to evolve. And I really feel God's presence in my life and like tapping, right? Tapping that there's something greater. And I'm trying to create space to step into that. And I'm telling you, it's not always easy, right? When you run a business and you're growing a business. And I'm so proud Inspired Living has reached the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies, privately held companies. That was a goal of mine for many years. I call it my quiet goal. Like I didn't share it with many people, but deep down, it was kind of that barometer that I made it. And what I find so ironic is we had our best year followed by one of our probably most challenging years in a very long time. And I'll be sharing more about that with you in the coming months because I really want to show you what happens when you reach certain levels in your business. What happens when you break that first 6 figures? What happens when you break 250, 500,000, 7 figures? There are so many blessings and so many things I'm grateful for. And let me tell you, a lot of lessons and learnings that don't stop, won't stop. So today I'm going to try to share with you the top 3, even though as I came up with the 13, I woke up and I'm like, oh, but there's more. There's more lessons. So I might give you a couple bonus ones today. My team did put together a gorgeous downloadable PDF for you that has all 13 of, I would say, my most pressing, my most aha lessons, my most profound lessons. Although, like I said, there are so many. So let's just jump in. Let's jump in to top number 1 lesson. Number 1 lesson would be, I think it's this one. I think it's failure is not the end. I think a lot of us have a fear of failure more than a fear of success, right? Like what happens if it doesn't work? Keri, what happens if I show up on camera and people don't like me? What happens if the big vision I hold for my life doesn't come to fruition? What if I fail? And I want to tell you, I failed a lot. I have failed tremendously. I have failed face down, face plant. And the only choice we have is to stay down or get up. And I often talk about my business failure in 2008 when I had to close a talent agency that I loved dearly, did not have a plan B. I've never had a plan B, let's be honest. I'm a plan A all the way, plan A. But when I closed the agency, I felt like the biggest loser on the planet, like failure on my forehead. I felt everywhere I went, people knew that I didn't make it, that I failed. And, I moved out to LA, packed up my car. It was the only thing I had left and it was leased, signed with a talent agency out here to pursue my childhood dream of being a TV host. I really wanted to be Mary Hart growing up. If that doesn't date me, I don't know what does, but Entertainment Tonight. And it's funny, isn't it? How you reach a certain level, you reach a dream that you thought you had and you realize it's not the dream after all? Has that ever happened to you? And so I'm booking these jobs on E and TV Guide and MTV and the Golf Channel. And I'm like, oh my God, like the childhood dream is happening. And yet my soul was not fulfilled. I was not fulfilled. So I kept searching. And after 2 years of deep diving and personal development and spiritual growth, I happened to get involved with a company that taught neurolinguistics, and I traveled the world for a year. Again, God's plan is better than my plan. Like that is a quotable. Like the plan is better than yours. And I traveled the world and people started asking me if you coach. And I was like, sure I do. Of course I do. And Inspired Living back in 11/11/11, right? November 11th, 2011. I launched the website and it was life coaching. It was all things, my friend. It was life and business and relationships and finances, because at that time in my life, that's what Inspired Living was. And so that failure propelled me forward into launching Inspired Living. And I'm telling you, I'm so grateful. Looking back, you know, the quote, you can't connect the dots in front of you. You can only connect them behind you. Oh my goodness. It could not be more true that sometimes like we think like the dots are forward and we're looking forward at what's next. But if you take a second to look at all the dots behind you that got you where you are, it's really quite profound. It's quite miraculous. And so that's how Inspired Living started. I remember Kevin Sorbo was my first guest. Okay, so podcasting is a big thing, right? Everyone's interviewing everybody. But let me tell you, I'm an OG. I was interviewing celebrities and business owners like before podcasting was a thing. We were going to people's homes. We were in the park in Beverly Hills. And we were going all out because that was my love. And I thought, gosh, if I don't want to do this for, a network, I'm going to create my own. And so Inspired Living TV launched in 2010 before I launched Inspired Living. So just really incredible, right? To follow your intuition. I think that's number 2. So number 1 is failure is not the end. For most of us, failure is the beginning. Failure is just a metric. It's just a thing to look at, assess, and decide, if that's a detour where you're going to go next. And I know that sounds so easy because going through the failure is hard, but I truly believe there are no accidents. I don't think there's accidents. I don't think you listening to this or watching this is an accident. I don't think, your vision is an accident. I don't believe your gifts and talents you've been given were an accident. So it's up to us to figure out how we're going to use them, right? And so girlfriend, fail it forward. And 2, it's like you really have to trust the timing. And that can be so hard because as entrepreneurs, we want things yesterday, don't we? We're visionaries. We're quick starts. Like we have these big ideas and we just want them to happen. I say we live in this prime society. We want everything in 2 days or less. And man, do I feel you. My team feels you. Like, Keri, great idea. Not now. Like, let's just wait on that. And I have to tell you, I have still so many ideas. I think what's really important as you're growing your business is to get known for that one thing. That's a side lesson, by the way. The one thing, what do you want to be the best in the world at? What do you want to get known for? What's the niche, right? So think about this. When I started Inspired Living back in 2011, I was trying to serve pretty much anyone that wanted to pay me, right? I was a life coach. One of my first clients was going through a divorce and wanted me to help him through it. It's so funny, right? You look back. And then I had this aha moment at around 2012. I was watching someone online. I was very new to coaching, new to the online space, never was in online marketing. My first business was interior design. And then I owned a brick and mortar talent agency. So this was just no idea what I was doing. The online space was so foreign. And so I started watching like, hey, if I'm going to be a coach, I'm going to start watching other coaches. And I will never forget, I was in one of the 7 homes I lived in 3 years. When I moved to LA, I moved a lot. And I was watching this one particular coach and it was just super smiley. It did not feel authentic to me. It could have been, it did not feel that to me. And I had this winner chicken dinner moment where I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. When you get those spidey senses, okay? And that is when I was like, I can teach entrepreneurs how to be on camera. I could do that. I had been on camera for decades. I'd had 2 businesses. I've taught acting. I've taught everything. I'm like, oh my gosh. By the way, I don't teach acting. Let's be clear, but I do teach people how to emote and share and express themselves. And so, okay, fail forward. Number 1, like, don't be afraid to fail. Number 2, trust the timing. It's always better than you think. It's always, we want it so quickly. And sometimes, like, we're not given things yet because we're not ready for them yet. There's a great quote that I love. What is meant for you will find you, even if it feels like it's already past. Who needed to hear that today? What is meant for you will find you, even if it feels like it's already past. And I want to share with you, sometimes I feel like things have passed and I'll get sad about it, or I'll get blue about it, or I'll get envious about it. And then I have to remember, what is meant for me will find you. And that is a great reminder for you too. And then the third biggest lesson that I get to keep learning is to trust your intuition. Remember that winner chicken dinner moment where I was like, oh my gosh, I can teach entrepreneurs how to be on camera. If I didn't listen to that, if I did not shift my entire business from this esoteric life coaching, all things to all people, to becoming the best at helping entrepreneurs use video, show up authentically, make the impact and income they greatly desire, I would not have the business I have today. There is no way. How many other life coaches are out there or business coaches are out there? And we do a lot more at Inspired Living than just teach people how to be great on camera. That's like step 1. But then once you come into the ecosystem, it's like, hey, let's build out your scalable models. Let's leverage your genius. Let's figure out how to create multiple streams of revenue. So fun, right? So we do so much more. But if I did not focus and follow my intuition, that was the door in which things would open for me, I would not be where I am. So I would say top 3 lessons. I have 13. By the way, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. Please go download this beautiful PDF my team put together with all 13 lessons. They are juicy. They are profound. They will help you no matter where you're at in your business, because I know that success leaves clues. And all my lessons have been lessons I've learned from other people. The over a decade of interviewing hundreds of successful entrepreneurs, right? Celebrities, like, the lessons are there for us to learn. And if you can learn them quicker, faster, easier, like, what a blessing that is. Like, please let me take my 13 years, actually the 25 years I have been an entrepreneur, and delineate that down to 13 lessons. So that's for you. Please go get it. So those are the top 3. Right? Like, we're also scared to fail, but failure is just a roadblock, right? It's just a time to reassess, pull up your big girl panties, and keep going. Okay, because we all fail. Every single entrepreneur, every single successful person has failed at something at some point. Number 2 is to really trust the timing. It is so hard to trust the timing sometimes because we want things quicker, faster, and there are ways to buy speed. But at the end of the day, like, kind of just letting go and trusting while working in collaboration with spirit. Whether you believe in God or not, I believe that there is a divine energy, spirit. I believe in God, but for each of us, like, when we're in alignment with that energy, when we can trust the timing and yet keep doing what it is we feel we need to do to grow our companies, that just gives a sense of peace, right? Or else we're always in a sense of anxiety, and we don't need to be. And then the third one is really trusting your intuition, whether it's hiring someone, launching a new product. How many times does someone tell you that's not a good idea? That's too expensive. That's too hard. But deep in your bones, you know that is your North Star. And I'm here to tell you to follow it, to follow that star. Because, if Sarah Blakely listened to all the people that told her cutting off pantyhose was not going to be a successful company, she would not be the billion-dollar business that she is today. Let me just say, right? So don't take people's no's, right, as your yes or no, right? So follow your intuition, please. Your gut instinct is your divine compass telling you where to go. All right, I have 2 bonus lessons that I did not get to put in the guide because I forgot to add them. But I already mentioned one of them, but I want to go back to it one more time. I think in this economy, in this marketplace, again, 13 years ago, video was not what it was today. We did not have the technology. We did not have the accessibility. People didn't really get it yet. I remember back then it was like, you should be on camera. You should be using video. And I'd hear, yeah, Keri, that's a good idea. I probably should. And now everyone knows you will become a dinosaur. Your business will become extinct if you are not using video. Right? Video outperforms every other sort of post, right? It's going to help your website convert. It's going to help your social convert because everything that we do is about building emotional connection. Okay. So video, video, video. However, right? How do you reach the right person? How do you reach that right person through the lens? And there's two lessons. Number one is be the most authentic version of yourself. And this is where people come and work with us because there's something that happens when you press record, doesn't it? Like everything that's natural leaves your body. You're like, what's my name? I forget my name. So when you can learn to be the most authentic version of yourself, be unapologetic with who you are, where you came from, what you believe in. And I know it's scary because people can be really rude and mean, but I will tell you this, that when you are the most authentic version of yourself, you attract the people you love to work with. And it's okay if you don't like me. It's okay if I'm not your cup of tea, right? Because I am who I am. And I'm going to attract the right tribe. And I will say one of the things I love the most about Inspired Living is the community of people in which we attract. So be the most unapologetic, authentic version of yourself. That's a lesson because when I started Inspired Living, I came from TV hosting, right? And I was very cheesy and welcome to Inspired Living. I'm Keri Murphy. And no one wants that. In fact, now more than ever, people want real and raw and approachable, which is great, right? We don't need to be super produced and polished, but we do need to be authentic. So that is a lesson that I want you to take, and I want you to take it with you in your purse or your pocket. And when you're pressing record, when you're showing up, when you're doing anything, if you are performing, if there is a version of you that is not authentic, I want you to keep working and chipping away at just really showing up as your most authentic self. Okay, bonus lesson. And then the last lesson I'm going to leave you with today, which I've already said, but I want to reiterate, is niching down, becoming the best of the best, getting known for that one thing. Now, I have people say, Keri, like I see you as so much more than teaching people how to be on camera. I see you with your own show, or I see you doing this. And I love that. And I appreciate that. And I see big things for me too, in all actuality. Like I do see them. However, when you get known for one thing, it's so much easier to expand, right? Because you have a scalable offer, you have systems and processes, you get known for the one thing. And then it's like, oh, yes, we do so much more, right? We have an online store, we have IL Beauty, we have all of these other ways in which you can work with us. But because we are in constant overwhelm, we are in decision fatigue, we are just inundated with content every single moment, that if you can stand out, if you can become an essential, people are spending money. People are not going to stop spending money, especially if you solve a pain that I have. If you become the doctor with the prescription to my pain, I will seek you out. So become the go-to expert, niche down, get known for the one thing, whether you're a realtor, a med spa owner, an attorney, whatever it might be. When you get known for that one thing, it's easier to market. It's easier to advertise. It's easier to attract your right fit client. And then they come into your business, what I call your ecosystem, your home online. And it's like, oh my gosh. And you do all these other things as well. That's amazing. So those are a few of my lessons. I would love to know if they were helpful. There's a whole bunch more. So again, if you want access to all 13 lessons, click the link here in the show notes and take some time to read them through. I think more than anything, from one entrepreneur sister to the next, I think what I want to leave you with is this, that your vision that you hold for your life, where you see yourself, whether it's on a big stage, a best-selling author, maybe it's just being, a crafter and having a beautiful home, or, being there for your children and your family, whatever it is for you, it is meant for you. whatever it is for you, it is meant for you. And when you can just wake up with that feeling of gratitude and understanding that your gifts were uniquely given to you, that vision was not given to anybody else. So stop asking for people to validate a vision that's not theirs. And then surround yourself. That's one of the lessons, but I'm going to give it to you now. Surround yourself with other people that believe in you, believe in your vision. Your tribe is everything. And it is so important that you surround yourself with people that lift you up, because being an entrepreneur is hard. We all hear it is lonely at the top, and it is lonely. But when you surround yourself with other people that are in it with you, that are risk takers, that are believers, that are the unicorns, right? Then you don't feel so alone. And if we can be that community for you, I would love nothing more than to bring you into Inspired Living. Just a little hint. Okay. So one of my favorite things is the Brilliant event. I ran it for 7 years, and then I took a break last year. But one of my favorite things is Brilliant, and it is coming up May 15th through the 17th. Now, if you're a female entrepreneur that envisions big, brilliant things for her life, you want to build a 7, 8, 9-figure business. Maybe you want to launch a product. Maybe you want to grow and scale a service. Whatever it is, Brilliant is the event. It's the event. It is spectacular. My speakers have all built phenomenal brands from the ground up, and we're going to be talking about all the things that you care about: leadership, wealth creation, scaling in today's economy, like product launches, all the things. So I'm letting you know before anybody else. Shh, don't tell anybody. Actually, you can tell. Go tell your best friend right now to put it on her calendar as well. Brilliant, May 15th through the 17th. Much more coming soon. So if you're not a member of the Inspired Living community, you want to get on that email list pretty darn quick. So we'll put a link here as well, so you can join the Inspired Living community, so you won't miss an episode, a tip, or an incredible event that is coming your way. All right. Thank you for your time. I hope this was helpful. If it was, go over to Instagram, shoot me a DM wherever you can find me, and let me know if this was helpful. More than anything, I want you to know you are not alone. You are not alone. We are in this together. And we got to continue to show up, to be bold, to be unapologetic in who we are and what we want in the world. Have a beautiful and blessed rest of the day. And thanks so much for being with me today.